Good morning, everybody. Hope you're keeping well and that you'll be able to join us on Sunday morning. We're going live again at 11 o'clock from church. And again, let me say, if you can join us at 11, it does give us that sense of being together. And I hope you'll be able to do that. And if it's not possible for you, it will be there on the YouTube channel later on. So do join us for worship on Sunday. We really look forward to sharing with you then. And just now we're going to continue in our walk through Mark's Gospel, and we're now at the beginning of Holy Week. At least we are in our readings. We've got 3 and a bit weeks to go actually until Easter, but we're going to take Holy Week slowly and reflectively in our devotionals. It also reflects the fact that it takes up nearly a third of Mark's Gospel, so I'd encourage you to make maybe even a little bit of extra time as we go through these readings, and don't just read them and listen to me, but maybe just take some time by yourself to reflect on the passages that we read in this so important event in Jesus' life. And because it's an important event in Jesus' life, it's an important event in our lives too. So I encourage you to do that over these next few weeks. We're going to read this morning from Mark chapter 11 and beginning at verse 1. Now when they drew near to Jerusalem, to Bethphage and Bethany at the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 of his disciples and said to them, "Go into the village in front of you, and immediately as you enter it, you will find a colt tied in which no one has ever sat. Untie it and bring it. If anyone says to you, 'Why are you doing this?' say, 'The Lord has need of it, and will send it back here immediately.'" And they went away, found a colt tied at a door outside in the street, and they untied it. Some of those standing there said to them, "What are you doing untying the colt?" They told them what Jesus had said, and they let them go. And they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their cloaks on it, and he sat on it. And many spread their cloaks on the road, and others spread leafy branches that they had cut from the fields. And those who went before and those who followed were shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our father David. Hosanna in the highest." And he entered Jerusalem and went into the temple. When he had looked around at everything, as it was already late, he went out to Bethany with the 12. This is a remarkable episode for all sorts of reasons, and a remarkable change of direction for Jesus, because now Jesus is going public, so to speak. Up until now, privacy and secrecy have been a large part of what Jesus has been doing. So when he heals someone, very often he tells them not to tell anyone. When Peter declares him to be the Messiah, don't tell anyone. Even on the journey to Jerusalem, he has been careful to take the time with his disciples privately, away from the crowds. But now it's different. Now he's in the full glare of publicity, and it's a determined choice on his part. He has accepted from Bartimaeus in the previous passage the title of Son of David, and that's significant, because the moment that he accepts that title, the very next episode he rides into Jerusalem publicly as a king. He is a king on a donkey. That is true. So that in itself is a demonstration that this kingdom is going to be different. It's not a kingdom of power and might and military force and political power games. It's not about that. It's a kingdom of humility. He rides on a donkey, fulfilling the prophecy of Zechariah. But what it does say is that there will be no more secrets, no more telling people not to speak. Jesus wants everyone to see and know the claim he is making. He rides into the city at the busiest time of the year, Passover, when everybody is moving towards Jerusalem for the festival. he wants to make it absolutely clear, the claim that he is making. His entry into Jerusalem is absolutely a public one. And J.C. Ryle makes a comment on this, a rather lovely comment on this, where he says, "It is probable that there was not a house in Jerusalem in which the entry of the prophet of Nazareth was not known and talked of that night." The word went like wildfire around the city, and as people went to bed that Palm Sunday night, they were completely enraptured by what had just happened. They were all talking about it, all of them, just wondering what was going to happen next as this king made his entry into Jerusalem. And of course, just as his entry into Jerusalem is a public event, so his death a few days later will be a public event too, which is exactly as he wants it to be. The eyes of Jerusalem are focused on Jesus. And when he dies there will be many witnesses. That's important because Christianity is a historical faith. It's based on events that happened in history that were witnessed, that people saw, that people talked about, that people wrote about. That's important for us because our faith is not just based on no evidence. It's based on things that people saw happen, and particularly it's based on things that people saw happen on this week between the two Sundays. Jesus of Nazareth rode into Jerusalem as king on that Palm Sunday. He was crucified as a criminal on the Friday, and he rose again on the Sunday. That is the historical basis of our faith. He did it all in public. He did it all for you and for me. And we will, as we go through these readings, discover more and more of what that week meant, of how it developed, and of how it impacts your life and my life right now. But for now, we know this. He is our King, our humble King, and our King who laid down his life for us on that Holy Week. What a great King we have. God bless.